Roberta Cleopatra Flack, born February 10, 1937 and died on February 24, 2025, was an American singer who topped the Billboard charts with the #1 singles The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, Killing Me Softly with his song, and Feel Like Makin Love. Flack influenced the subgenre of contemporary R&B called Quiet Storm and interpreted songs by songwriters such as Leonard Cohen and members of the Beatles. Flack was the first artist to win the Grammy Award for Record of the Year in 2 consecutive years. The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face won in 1973, and Killing Me Softly with his song won in 1974. Roberta Flack had a net worth of $20 million at the time of her death. Early life and education. Flack was born on February 10, 1937, in Black Mountain, North Carolina, to parents Laron Flack, a Veterans Administration draftsman, and Irene Flack, a church organist. She grew up in Arlington, Virginia. Growing up in a large, musical family, she often accompanied the choir of Lomax African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church by playing hymns and spirituals on piano. But she also enjoyed going to the Baptist church down the street to listen to contemporary gospel music, including songs performed by Mahalia Jackson and Sam Cooke. When Flack was 9, she took an interest in playing the piano. During her early teens, Flack excelled at classical piano, and Howard University awarded her a full music scholarship. By age 15, Flack entered Howard University in Washington, D.C., making her one of the youngest students ever to enroll there. She eventually changed her major from piano to voice and became an assistant conductor of the university choir. Her direction of a production of Ida received a standing ovation from the Howard University faculty. Flack became a student teacher at a school near Chevy Chase, Maryland. She graduated from Howard University at 19 and began graduate studies in music there, but the sudden death of her father forced her to take a job teaching music and English in Farmville, North Carolina. Personal life. Flack was a member of the Artist Empowerment Coalition, which advocates for artists to have the right to control their creative properties. She was also a spokeswoman for the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Her appearance in commercials for the ASPCA featured The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face. The Hyde Leadership Charter School in the Bronx, NYC, ran an after-school music program called the Roberta Flack School of Music to provide free music education to underprivileged students in partnership with Flack, who founded the school. From 1966 to 1972, she was married to Steve Novosel. Flack was the aunt of professional ice skater Rory Flack. She was also the godmother of musician Bernard Wright, who died in an accident on May 19, 2022. For a time, Flack had an apartment in the Dakota Building in New York City that was right next door to the apartment of Yoko Ono and Sean Lennon. Lennon referred to her as Aunt Roberta. According to DNA analysis, she was of Cameroonian descent. NYC apartment. For over 4 decades, she called the legendary Dakota Building home, purchasing her apartment at 1 West 72nd Street in the 1970s during the height of her fame. Her residence in Apt 78 placed her among notable neighbors like John Lennon and Yoko Ono, with whom she developed a friendship. The 9-room apartment featured soaring ceilings, original moldings, and views of Central Park that inspired many of her compositions. After listing the historic property for $10 million in 2015, Flack eventually sold it for $5.8 million in 2018 following her stroke, marking the end of an era. Accolades. On May 11, 2017, Roberta Flack received an honorary doctorate degree in the arts from Long Island University. Flack was inducted into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame in 2009. In 2021, Flack was one of the first inductees into the Women Songwriters Hall of Fame. On March 12, 2022, Flack was honored with the DAR Women in American History Award and a restored fire call box in the Capitol Hill neighborhood of Washington, D.C., commemorating her early career connection to nearby Mr. Henry's Neighborhood Bar. On January 24, 2023, the PBS series American Masters opened its 37th season with an hour-long look at her career. On May 13, 2023, Flack received an honorary doctorate from Berklee College of Music. Career. Rise to fame. Flack's career trajectory changed dramatically when jazz pianist Les McCann discovered her performing at Mr. Henry's in 1968 and arranged an audition with Atlantic Records. Her debut album, First Take, released in 1969, initially received modest attention until 1972, when Clint Eastwood featured her rendition of The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face in his film Play Misty for Me. The song skyrocketed to #1 on the Billboard charts, remaining there for 6 weeks and winning Flack her first Grammy for Record of the Year. Her follow-up hit, Killing Me Softly with His Song, repeated this feat in 1973, cementing her place in music history as the first artist to win consecutive Record of the Year Grammys. Collaborations with Donny Hathaway. Among Flack's most celebrated work were her duets with soul singer Donny Hathaway, whom she had met during her student days at Howard University. Their partnership produced timeless classics like Where Is the Love and The Closer I Get to You, showcasing their exceptional vocal chemistry and musical compatibility. Their first album together, Roberta Flack and Donny Hathaway, 1972, established them as one of popular music's most compelling duos. Their collaboration was tragically cut short by Hathaway's death in 1979, a profound personal and professional loss for Flack. She later found another successful duet partner in Peabo Bryson, though her work with Hathaway remains particularly treasured by music lovers. Musical style and influence. Flack's distinctive approach to music defied easy categorization, blending elements of soul, folk, jazz, and classical into something uniquely her own. Her interpretive skills allowed her to transform songs written by others into deeply personal statements. Unlike many of her contemporaries who emphasized vocal pyrotechnics, Flack mastered the art of restraint, using her warm contralto to convey emotion through subtle phrasing and impeccable timing. Her classically trained piano playing formed the foundation of her sound, characterized by rich harmonies and thoughtful arrangements. This sophisticated approach influenced generations of artists across genres, from soul singers to contemporary jazz artists and R&B performers who embraced her emphasis on emotional authenticity over technical display. Later career and legacy. Though her commercial peak came in the 1970s, Flack continued recording and performing through the decades that followed. She explored new musical directions and collaborated with artists ranging from Luther Vandross to Maya Angelou. Her commitment to education remained strong as she founded the Roberta Flack School of Music in the Bronx, providing free music education to underprivileged students. In 2018, she suffered a stroke that impacted her ability to perform, and in 2022, she was diagnosed with ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Despite these health challenges, Flack continued to shape her legacy through reissues of her classic recordings and a documentary about her life. Her passing on February 24, 2025, marked the end of a remarkable life in music, but her influence continues through the countless artists she inspired and the timeless recordings that still speak directly to listeners' hearts. Health and death. In 2018, Flack was appearing on stage at the Apollo Theater at a benefit for the Jazz Foundation of America. She became ill, left the stage, and was rushed to the Harlem Hospital Center. In a statement, her manager announced that Flack had a stroke a few years prior and still was not feeling well, but was doing fine and being kept overnight for medical observation. In late 2022, it was announced by a spokesperson that Flack had been diagnosed with ALS and had retired from performing, due to the disease making it impossible to sing. Initial reports stated Flack died at home amongst her family on February 24, 2025, at the age of 88. However, her manager, Suzanne Koga, stated she died of cardiac arrest on her way to the hospital in Manhattan. Rest in peace, Roberta Cleopatra Flack. You may have gone, but you will never be forgotten.